After the success of Tekken 3, Namco decided to come up with another game called Tekken Tag Tournament, the first dream match on the PS2, which is arguably another iconic game on the PS2. During the progress of this game, Tekken Tag Tournament was the same game mechanics for Tekken 2 and 3, as both of them were done in the Namco System 12. But as it was progressing towards the PS2, they decided to use a different upgrades to the graphics by using the same similar system as they did for Tekken 4. So you could say Tekken Tag Tournament is an upgraded version of Tekken, just more characters now from Tekken 2. Despite having all of the Tekken 2 characters in Tekken 3, I still feel like I was missing a few, the ones that were not actually in the game, and I wish they were for fun. How I noticed the difference between Tekken Tag Tournament is that the arcade is very different to the one on the PS2. And also, as you look at the intros, both Lee and Paul are in different space at a different time. One's walking, the other's either driving a vehicle, vice versa. But how I got into Tekken, I heard this theme tune. Seriously, this intro theme tune is an absolute stunner and such a breathtaking atmospheric way of describing this song. Despite all the times where I've had to ask for a redo of Tekken Tag Tournament, we finally get one, but it's in the HD edition, which I don't think it makes a huge difference, but I kind of wish that they did something a bit more upgraded to it, especially when it's done on the PS3, which they did on Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which I will cover up later on. But honestly, I generally feel like this is way better than the other Tekkens that I've played, such as Tekken 1 and 2, but it's up to par with Tekken 3. But either way, I still enjoy how much I get to vibe to the music and vibe with the gaming, and also vibe with some of the characters that are sometimes easy to use and sometimes difficult to use. I do love a challenge. Throwing back to Tekken 3, the Namco System 12 had full-on rendering, while the PS1 had slight issues with that, and it was hard because they had to do a JPEG image to make the game seem a bit more realistic. But I still feel like when you go to Tekken Tag Tournament, it has the same slight issue, but in the PS2 it's a lot better because they upgraded the graphics, which I think is really awesome. The fact that they are able to get full-on rendering for each of the environment is brilliant, but also I love the fact that this is something that is an upgrade to Tekken 3, and also they did something similar to that in Tekken 4. What they added in Tekken Tag Tournament is that they have special intros for each players that you pick that are in 2v2s, and they have a lot more of the special intros as well, depending on which characters you pick. They both show personality, both show different fighting styles, which I think is quite nice to see both of them interact with each other for the first time, which is something that I rarely see. But the special intros that you go into it when you're about to fight another opponent still stays the same, which is something that they haven't been doing from Tekken 4 up to Tekken 8, and that's something that I really missed at the time. With that being said, they had different throw styles for each character you pick, whether it was different Williams sisters, whether it was Armor King or King, whether it was just, Angel or Devil, etc, etc. They all had very cool animated fighting styles that they show, and the way they grab the opponents is pretty sick too. But either way, it gets more brutal when you try and do more breaking bones. Though I have a slight problem with the environments at the same time, is that the environments can sometimes be a bit edgy in a way where when you do a camera angle towards it, it feels way too close up and less more spread out. Also, I kind of wish there were a couple characters that were from the game that weren't in the Tekken Tag Tournament list of characters to play, like Dr. Boskonovich. Even though he's so broken, I still find it funny how he plays as a character. And we all love Gon, right? But I feel like most of the times, if you know how to play him, then you'll have so much fun with him. The music in this game is so damn good. I literally think it's one of my favourites out of the Tekkens that I had. Besides from the dubsteps that happened in the later Tekken games, I still miss those kind of tunes that they always play in different Tekken stages. But the music in this game, god damn, it's so good. Like, honestly, my favourite has to be the Shayu stage, where they're in a fun fair and you just feel like you're in a disco ready to jam. So to take your mind off of fighting, they did Tekken bowling, which I think is a fun way to kind of be an unserious moment for a video game like Tekken. Although I did enjoy Tekken Ball, and I also enjoyed Tekken Force on Tekken 3. I kind of wish they added that too, you know, like to add that to it. So then 2v2 of fighting, it'll be like when two fighters go head to head, like the Streets of Rage or Final Fight, that kind of vibe, but in a 3D dynamic way, which would have been cool if they did something like that. But with each ending, I don't think it needs to have any context. I just think that it's really cool that they were able to add not just CGI stuff, but they were able to add their own upgrade graphics, where they're able to have characters have their own engine and not spend so much on CGI cuts, which honestly, it takes a lot of time and effort into it. So I'm sure it took a lot of time and effort to have this whole game being put together, but it was really cool that you get to see Jin finally go toe to toe with his father. But then Kazuya not being in Tekken 3 was another thing, so I want to know how they really reacted in Tekken 4 at the time. But yeah, also I'm not really a huge fan of the idea of having 2v2 but only one person has to be KO'd and then the whole team loses. I kind of wish that they would do the whole team has to be KO'd rather than just one person be KO'd. Otherwise, what's the point of 2v2? You might as well just do 1v1, right? But don't let that take away from how good the game is, because I still love it to this day, and I highly recommend you guys checking it out because it's definitely a great game. So after realizing how I'm gonna end this video, I just thought, let me end it with a nice laid back ending theme to this video game, because that is the vibe. Seriously, look how overpowered these two characters are. I still feel the same way about these two characters, okay?
Love so deep, love so strong. What you doing to me?